So recently, viewers, you might have noticed the blowout in the comments between myself and Minty Root, covering ground between Minty and some anti-bronies, Toon Kritic, and myself. Some of you might be like, well, you guys are troublemakers, why should we listen to you? So, ladies and gentlemen, Lightening BLiss, a fellow animator, well, Minty, not myself, showed up in the comments section last time, How Not to Brony 25. As always, Keychi FM will delicately, lovingly, with a mother's touch, read off said comments in the most gentle of fashions. And honestly, I'm pretty sure Minty won't have someone of good repute to speak on his behalf. I'm gonna be over here enjoying that sweet, sweet moral high ground.
Alrighty. First off, take a joke on the French-Canadian thing. I call Toon Chikaka all the time and he doesn't get salty about it. But on to my point. Mr. Minty, I've got news for you. No one cares about your claims anymore or your responses. At the end of the day, majority overrules here. You aren't making yourself look good at all. You're just whining at this point. Regardless of what you think, there were no violations. It's just what it is. If you don't like what FNGR has to say, then stop listening. Stop replying and move on? I don't think it's that hard. I figured you were above it anyway. You always say you're educated and talented, that you do professional work. Then you show you can be professional and stop giving in to petty comment wars. After seeing all these replies you're making and the silly, overblown fights you continue to bring up, I've lost any respect I've had for you currently, as both a content maker and an animator. Yes, I am an animator, graduated in 2013, and quite saddened to see one of our own acting this way. For goodness sakes, let the water subside under the bridge and get on with your content, because continuing with this bicker is certainly not good for anyone's time, least of all yours. Good day.
Dear Lord Zarkon, remember that guy that bamboozled his way into NYC, the Brony convention, where he wound up staying with Toon Kritic uninvited? So anyways, my estranged peer Fallen Wish came up to me with some private messages that she gave me permission to use. No, Zarkon's not in any of those. But besides being disruptive in her chats, something I found familiar in mine, I found someone that Zarkon would like to recommend to you. Your friend and mine, Silverstream, aka Pony Man. The man too toxic even for the PFC and Harp, who tossed his batshit crazy ass out of. Don't trust me? Toon Kritic or Fallen? Sure. But should you trust people who hold house with a man who stalked Andrea Libman? By the way, here's a link to a video where Minty's friend, Standing Leaf, had Crazy Pony Man on, and I quote, an anti-bullying panel for a man who actually is documented harassing show staff. As usual, I'll include a link to both of the in-depth articles on Crazy Pony Man, as well as a link to that anti-bullying panel. Don't take my word for it, you can ask Lightening BLiss or hell even Mr Scorcher about this unsavory fellow. One more thing. You know, at the start of every week I burst out the gate, either with How Not to Brony or a podcast. It seems to work pretty well. I work 24 hours on the weekend. And at work, I think about what you might call problematic decisions. When you see FNGR make what looks like an impulsive snap decision that was done in the heat of the moment, it ends up being nothing of the sort. Back in How Not to Brony 22, I hinted at, alluded to, well, I straight up said that Impossible Lot and a second unnamed assailant attempted to lean on my friends unsuccessfully to abandon me. That video was January 9th. I can assume the incident itself maybe happened about a week before that, meaning I've had a good 30 days to let that idea fester, to germinate, to grow, to poison me. Because, class, when you have a problem and you don't say anything or do anything about it, that's what that problem does. It poisons you. Dear Toon Kritic, while you and I and everyone else have been far from perfect, I've enjoyed your insights, your friendship, and your work at times. And recently, I feel that you've been batting 1,000. Here's a link to Toon Kritic's work, and he has one of the few good podcasts in the fandom. He has a rogues gallery of good to great friends, and no Toon is not the guy we're talking about. But I understand quite obviously this choice of mine creates a series of challenges for Mr. Kritic. I am not blind to this. We'll get back to that perhaps in a moment. Dear Mr Scorcher and the audience, a while ago, Josh, you told me this was petty and I believe you. that Josh didn't want to simply go on a show with me because it would feel like I would have won. And you're 100% right, Josh. If I did have a podcast with you, I would have won. We both agree that the free form and thoughts and expressions of ideas is what I'm looking for. And what you want has been always what you've wanted, was the expression of your ideas to build your brand. Back in How Not to Brony 17, I covered the first time Mr Scorcher openly tried to impose his agenda on Tommy Oliver, publicly got his ass kicked, and then turned to Lily Pete for help. And then, not so unironically, when he had to get into a fight with Lily, he got his ass kicked and then turned to 8chan. For those familiar with Jim Sterling, you might have heard when he talked about the Peter Molyneux cycle. Here's a clip.
Traceable behaviour, and that's what I'd like to talk about today. I would like to talk about the Molyneux cycle in what I hope is a very fair, very reasonable way. Molyneux cycle. He naturally hyped the sequel to High Heaven, promising it would be this deep, engaging, enriching experience, make good on all the broken promises of the first, and then he slagged the original game off. Urging an interviewer not to play the original Fable, he claimed the Xbox title was a glass vase that had been stuck together slightly wrongly. He said mechanics just didn't work or weren't shown properly, and that the story was not told with any skill. But of course, Fable 2 would be everything Fable wasn't. Of course it would, and that is the Molyneux cycle. Tell us the next game is going to be amazing, while the last game was rubbish.
So, I'd like to talk to you about the Mr Scorcher cycle. Josh will attempt to impose himself, get his ass kicked, turn to unscrupulous people, and if he gets caught, he will offer up an insincere apology to never do it again. And those unscrupulous people get worse and worse. Those being Lily Pete to 8chan to I Love Kim Possible a lot. Worse and worse, I say. Josh's recent behavior is the worst and the most insulting behavior in this cycle. The first incident simply was Josh trying to, and might I add, at least at first being unsuccessfully, force-feeding his opinion down Tommy Oliver's throat. And to fix the problem, he brought someone who admittedly has severe medical problems. The second being is that he got his fifis hurt because the same medically unsound individual dared say he wasn't a real Marine. Hell, Mr Scorcher himself firsthand took the time to talk to me in Kichi FIM why he in fact was a real Marine, 1 week after I did King Takes Joker 2.0, which I was kind of baffled by myself. I said he didn't count as a man, which, when you have to continually explain years and years of service to every Tom, Dick, and Harry, yes, I am taking your man card. What makes the last event so gallingly egregious isn't just the fact that he turned to KP. Okay, fine, he doesn't think KP is a scumbag. That's an easy enough assertion, but when I reared back and slapped the shit out of KP for the exact same sort of things that Josh did, Josh zipped his lips, folded his arms in his lap, and stared at his shoes. Instead of coming to Rachel's aid, Josh did what Josh always does. He looked out for himself. I wanted to address one more thing that Josh said about me in private behind my back, that I was just like someone else he used to be friends with, that he knew my type. I'm going to make an assumption he meant Lily. So, let me tell you how I and Lily are different, Josh. Lily does short-sighted, impulsive things and then doubles down on them, and loses friends due to her inability to walk things back. Now, despite everything I'm going to tell you all, my friends are going to yell at me. I'm going to apologize, I'm going to get chewed out, and it won't be the first or the last time. I understand why this is a social faux pas because you're a crybaby, Josh. And calling you a crybaby in public means you're gonna go cry to my friends. Friends of which Mr Scorcher, by sheer coincidence, offered a collab to, almost up and down. It reads like a who's who in the Limbo chat. If you want to talk about being a manipulative bastard, the timing of that offer happened about a week after he got caught trying to impose himself by the side of KP. I bring this all up because, for months now, Brawny Buck has had an issue with Toon Kritic on how Toon conducts his life and how he handled the situation with Fallen Wish, among other things. When he took the time to explain the whole messy fiasco and how it had been handled, Brawny admitted that he had as much palatable amounts of problems with Fallen and her financials, and just didn't say anything because Fallen wasn't around. And when Toon was around, Brawny would bite his lip. He would pout fiercely, and he would then keep quiet about the problem, i.e. like Anon KP Links did, and many of KP's followers. And that sort of behavior only leads to a powder keg. No doubt it's an ugly mess. And I'm not going to tell you that Brony and Toon are besties now. That comes from both sides sitting down and having it out, with strong and honest words, not with some fake therapist on hand who's only ever been there to jerk himself off. Honestly, I would love to take the credit for this myself, but the man who pushed this issue forward was Toon Kritic. Does that mean that Toon Kritic can come fix all your problems? No, that's not the lesson here. While it's nice to have a bunch of people to assist you, you at some point in time are going to have to at least come along for the ride. As far as I'm concerned, this is Toon Kritic's magical mystery cure. He went in an ugly situation and walked out like a professional. Somebody should call Hasbro, cause Toon should get his own goddamn princess castle for this. One he ultimately won't live in because it's a gaudy piece of crap. Toon will be able to look back later on his life when Brony isn't a thing anymore and know he used this experience to better himself. Will you, Josh? By the way, in case you missed it, you don't see Dr. Wolf fixing real problems like these. When you see a moment with Dr. Wolf, you're looking at a house of cards. When you look at How Not to Brony, as unpleasant as it might be, it's the truth. When you ask yourself about Josh Scorcher's conduct, ladies and gentlemen, find him accountable. It's not his first time. Find him accountable. It's the truth. Find him accountable. He deserves it. Fuck you, thank you, bye.
I'm gonna get me a drink.
What?
I'll be right back.
Just the right time.
Dude, I heard you were talking trash.
I'm pretty sure you were the one talking trash that elicited me talking trash.
I was talking trash, but I'm also prepared to talk trash with you here.
Well, I don't back down.
All right, what'd you say?
Well, what do you think I said? I said it in the video.
I didn't.
He hasn't watched the video.
I just got back from work and a workout.
Okay.
Give a summary, Toon.
Summary. Listen, if you have something to say, you can say it to me. You don't have to say it through anyone else. I'm right here. Okay. I understand you have issues with me. Join the club. A lot of people have issues with me. So if it's that much of a deal, you might as well let me know.
Here's the thing, though. You do know we have talked about this several times, and every single time we get even 6 inches deep into it, you back right out.
The thing is, what you're upset about is something that's been done for ages, and the people that you think you're upset for and that you're thinking, oh, I'm fighting for, these people need to be fixed and whatnot, or the shit that happened in the past, it's done. You have nothing to be upset about anymore.
My beef is purely for me. You lied to me, and you lied to a bunch of my friends. For that reason, and I tried several times to talk to you about it, and you blew me off, and you used your family as a shield. By the way, that's a real manly thing to do. And you did all kinds of stupid stuff, and you don't get any more mercy from me. You've known this.
I understand if you don't like me, that's not going to cause me to lose any sleep. I can't please everybody, and I am firmly aware of that now. And
try to be a real man for once in your life, and actually keep the promises that you make, and not say stuff like, I only made that promise to get out of the situation. Those were your actual words, you cracker. The heck is wrong with you?
And you were the one that said you were going to make sure that nothing would happen to me, and then something did happen to me.
One Horse News article. I stopped and convinced people
and that Horse News article had those people stalking not just me, but Keyframe at that con.
All right, well, that type of thing happened. I told you I would do my best, right? And I did everything I could there. I could have let a lot more happen to you than what did, okay?
Like what?
I saved your YouTube career that night.
Okay, here's the thing. You're talking about my career and shit. You didn't save shit. I did that on my own.
You come back 2 months later and say, I only told you that stuff so I could get out of that situation.
I don't need your help.
In the hospital for less. All right.
I'd like to turn again, Kichi. Could you care to weigh in on this, since you're the more level-minded person that might have a new, interesting perspective, and I can't think right now?
Sure, Brony. What specific promises did Toon make that you're saying he didn't fulfill?
The promises, as I remember them, were that he would put... Okay, so the backtrack just a second, set up a little bit of context here. The Fallen Wish situation happened. I said, okay, this is the third time that type of thing has happened to you. You need to start being more proactive and making sure that you don't put yourself in these situations. And part of that is learning to drive and getting a job. And then when this is all done, you need to pay your friends who have bought you out back. My main concern that night was making sure that Fallen Wish was had her bills met and was not going to starve. Now Fallen Wish is an entirely different story. I shouldn't have tried to help.
Hold on.
Because
so let's start with the first part of that.
No, I want to go back to that right now. You're like, I'm really angry at Toon. I don't see Brawny going and screaming at fucking Fallen Wish right now, who took $300 of those dollars to go buy herself a 3DS. How about that, Brawny?
Yeah, like I said, that's no good either, and I am mad at her. It doesn't come up nearly as much, I'll give you that, but it doesn't.
Okay.
I think it's because I'm probably an easier target, right?
How would you be an easier target?
I don't know about that.
You have this complex where you like to think you're the smartest person in the room, so you use that to your advantage, and because you see me as like an easy target, oh, he doesn't have a car, he doesn't have a job, he still lives with his parents. Well, I'm gonna be big Brawny Buck daddy mode, and I'm going to make sure that Toon does his best. Well, here's the thing. I don't have a dad in my life, and if you were my dad, I wish I would be adopted, first off. You are not the best figure for me when it comes to this sort of thing. I understand your intentions. I understand your motives, but you have to understand something. The way that I view all this, yes, I did make some mistakes. Yes, those promises I've not been able to keep. Those have not been my fault. What I've been trying to do in all of this is to push myself further through my own way.
And that's why you come out and say, oh, my family doesn't want me to have a job and to have a driver's license and actually get on with my life. No, you're using them as a shield, and now you're lying to me again.
I'm not using that as an excuse. That is actually what's going on here. I'm doing my best to stay here and make sure that they're okay.
Times. Oh, and you can, and what I was trying to tell you is that you can do that a heck of a lot better if you actually put yourself in a position to be able to work. All right.
Again,
here's the thing. I know these things because I've been through them, and I've been through way worse than anything you'll ever see, hopefully.
Okay, a word. Brawny, It sounds like you're trying to put how you feel men should be onto Toon when you're completely different people.
Yeah.
Well, the only difference between Toon and I are the choices that we make.
No. You're putting your morals onto Toon.
Well, morality is a universal thing. The stuff that's...
Okay, let me ask Toon a question. Toon, the people that you got money from to pay back Fallen Wish, have they come to you being like, hey, where's my money?
They have never said that, because in that moment when I asked for their help, they said, here, because we are friends. You don't owe us anything. We are here to help you out.
Okay, so Brawny, at that point, you're upset about people who you have no reason to be upset. Like they aren't asking for the money back.
Do you want me to pay back? I even asked, do you want me to pay all this back? They said no, because we care about you. We understand some shit happened. We are here to help you out because all of us were close. We're tight like that. You don't need to pay us back anything. Therefore, they have said that I don't need to pay them back, so I'm not going to pay them back.
All right, well, that's one thing you could have told me. That.
Okay, well, he's telling you now.
Yeah.
All right, well, now that I know, I'll write that off. You still betrayed me.
No, hold on. The thing about the job, Toon's not homeless. He's not struggling. His parents aren't trying to make him get out. As far as I'm concerned, that's between him and his family.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
My family situation is that I am here to help out around the house. I am basically the man of the house. I'm here to help with any heavy lifting. I'm here to help with any chores that my grandma can't do. My grandpa is in a wheelchair and he can't do anything. He was the man of the house. He did all of the work and I would help out. But now I've had to step up as the man of this house. And if I'm gone for like hours on end for jobs and whatnot, and if something happens and I'm not here, then I'm kind of fucked. But then you might say, what about the conventions? Those are for me. They want me to go to these. They don't want me to just sit around here. They want me to go to these to further my YouTube career. So as far as I'm concerned, I've even asked them, do you want me to go out to get a job? Do you want me to get a license? It's difficult right now, given the circumstances with my family. Have I tried to branch out and look out for other stuff? Yes, I have. I just can't do this right now.
Okay, so at what point should I believe any of this? Because
all right, Brawny.
Okay, so let me just go get my grandparents then.
No, hold it. Here's the whole novel idea. The advice that I would suggest, Brawny, and that's the part where you should pay attention here, is it would be prudent on Toon's behalf that he squirrel away a couple of bucks so when, shit falls off the... I can't think of an analogy because I started drinking. But when, everything goes sideways, he doesn't have to pull a massive loan and he has a couple of bucks tucked away.
And I have been.
Okay, and cool. And I was about to say, and if he decides not to pay attention to that, that's going to be on him later next time.
Well,
reasonably, before the job... I don't understand personally why he couldn't get the license, but again, that's on Toon. The only person who's going to get fucked by that is Toon.
Yeah, What I was getting at is I don't have a reason to believe the stuff that he's telling me.
You don't have to.
You don't have a reason to need to worry about it either, son.
Well,
Jesus.
Anthony, that's why the end of that sentence is the whole reason we're in this predicament is because he's violated my trust, and I've caught him lying several times.
No. The point is, Brawny, if you don't believe him, that's fine. If you do believe him, that's also fine. It doesn't matter anymore.
Here, Sheldon, I want to hear what you guys say.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, about this job thing, I mean, you can make an argument either way for why having a job is a good thing or why having a job is a bad thing, and it kind of depends how you want to look at it. I mean, do you want to have a steady stream of income? Or would you rather have more time to do the things you want to do rather than working? I mean, there's plenty of arguments. We can go back and forth for fucking 20 hours. Fact of the matter is, if Toon Kritic, his family has agreed that, look, you don't need to work and we want you to be around, assuming that's true, it might not be true, who knows? But let's assume it is true. Then fine, fair enough, man. It's his life, right? But here's the thing. What else were we talking about after the job thing?
The job thing.
Right, the truth. Sorry, Brawny.
Yeah.
Whether or not Toon Kritic is telling you the truth. Now, here's the thing. While what these guys are saying that, you don't really have a lot of emotional stake in this or personal stake really at all. Why do you care? It's clear to me that you care. And what do you think the only way to demonstrate whether or not Toon Kritic is telling you the truth is? Brawny, if you're really so concerned about it.
It's a matter of when I was talking.
Yeah.
Well, you would ask him to provide evidence. And if you're really that concerned about it, he's here right now. You can get all the evidence you want if he can demonstrate it. And if not, then whatever, right? What are you going to do? I guess he's a liar in your eyes, right? I mean, what? The world goes on, So that's your options.
If you want to hear my grandparents' exact words when it came to a job, and I asked them, do you want me to get a job? They looked at me and they said, your YouTube stuff, tell me about it. Well, I do this, and that. Okay. And this is basically what you've been doing for like pretty much all the day. You're working basically on your YouTube stuff. Yes. And are you getting paid for your YouTube stuff? Yes. Then in my eyes, that is a job. Now, what is it you do around the house? I help you guys. I do like chores around the house. Whenever you go out to like the store, I help with like getting the food from the car to the house. Okay, that is a job. Zach, you have 2 jobs. You're working 2 jobs as far as I'm concerned, and you're living here and you're helping out when we need you. Those are 2 jobs, and that is good enough in our eyes.
What it's always going to come back to is that there were major inconsistencies in your Fallen Wish story of how you lost that money, and there were major inconsistencies in your story of when you were trying to get it back, and then you straight told me that you lied about the promise you made that
all right,
night.
Brony, let me back you up there. If there were
these
major inconsistencies and you decided to put your head out there, that would make you the dumbass. If you saw that, which I fucking didn't get involved in that crap when it was going down, granted I had a good excuse, but knowing that you were like, this doesn't add up, and you still decided to get involved, that is a you problem.
It was after the fact that I was, when all of this unfolded, that I started noticing these things. Because I trusted Toon Kritic at the time, Toon at the time, I didn't look too deeply into it. I had a problem that needed to get solved. I had, and I was sort of friends with Fallen Wish at the time, not as much as other people, but as far as I knew, I had 2 people.
Let me ask you a question here, bro.
That had an immediate problem.
Had you not decided, had you known everything that you knew now, knowing that Fallen would just fitter that money the fuck away, would you have bothered to fucking help Fallen reacquire her money in the first place?
No, I would have stayed right the heck out of that whole situation and let them destroy each other.
Well, yeah, I only see you here bitching at Toon and not Fallen, so I think you should leave that.
Well, Fallen isn't around.
Well, I could have her around, but then I'd lose a bunch of other motherfuckers. Right, and I'd prefer not to do that, Brawny. I would rather not have. I've literally had Lightening BLiss-keychi can back this up, and Toon Kritic say, I will give you free artwork for you not to have Fallen Wish in your fucking room.
Fact.
Yeah, and when we've talked about Fallen Wish a few times, I have complained about her as well.
Not really. Not to the same extent.
Yes, Keychi has bitched about Fallen Wish. Toon Kritic has bitched about Fallen Wish. Sheldon has bitched about Fallen Wish. You have barely fucking remarked on the bitch. Shut up.
And maybe it's
and hell, did you know that Fallen Wish and I recently talked and we made up? We called a truce. We decided, you know what, this drama isn't worth it. Are we cool? We're cool. Awesome. You do you, I do me.
Thing, Anthony, when I do remark on it, you all don't react nearly as badly because you like to her.
That's because she continues to do a lot of stupid stuff.
Oh yeah, no shit. In an ideal world, I do remember the good times where Fallen Wish was a reasonable, semi-functioning human being that lasted a total of 2 fucking weeks. And then there's the Fallen Wish that I remember the rest of that time. And I'm not prepared to put my friends or anyone else I know with that garbage ever fucking again. And that's the only way to handle that shit.
The difference between, at the very least in my case, difference between Toon and Fallen is I can look back at Toon and be like, that was a fun time. I can't do that with Fallen.
Toon Kritic didn't give his friends a nervous breakdown on Christmas and New Year's in the same fucking year.
Like there's different levels.
Yes. Yeah, if there is, I don't believe there is myself. You guys don't believe that, that's fine. But if there is a difference in my eyes between Toon and Fallen, it's that Fallen didn't make me any major promises, did not make me stick my neck out for her, and did not cost me 3 days of work.
How did he cost you 3 days of work?
I was fighting with a bunch of people from Horse News.
And you know what? And they still put it up anyway.
Okay, you mean YouTube work? Okay.
One article, you pansy, get over it.
No, you don't understand. You don't understand something, all right? When I was at Pacific PonyCon, I was stalked like at least a good amount of times, and Keyframe was stalked as well, to the point where we all had to be in a group. And fucking when we were setting up for like one of the events later in the day, 2 Horse News members were right outside the door waiting to talk to us. Hell, when I was in the fucking Smash tournament, they were right there trying to interfere as well. I was constantly fucking bugged by them.
You know how to deal with that? Okay, so first of all, when you're out in an unfamiliar town, you're supposed to travel in a group anyway. That's basic safety. That's and if they're giving you that much of a trouble, you confront the issue. You tell them to leave you alone. If they won't leave you alone,
it's the fact of the matter that they were still doing that to begin with.
These are the things that happen when you make the mistakes that you make.
Okay, so it's suddenly all of my fault when you could have done something, and it turns out you couldn't.
I did everything I could. And
for that part,
check your ass couldn't catch Brony.
You made a promise you couldn't keep.
Here's the thing. You don't see me bitching about how much I trusted you and how much I believed in you, because I thought, hey, maybe Brony will make sure that this will happen, and if he does, I will owe something big to him. But then you couldn't, and then all that shit happened.
Can we all just smoke some weed?
So one guy, with one of the people I didn't talk to, didn't know it was being involved. You had a problem at a convention that you did nothing about, and it could have been way the frick worse. All right.
Well, I'm sorry if I'm a little behind here and if I'm stilting the conversation, but what do you keep saying, Brownie? You did all you could. What is this referring to? Can I get some more context?
I was talking with Vita and a few other people, trying to convince them to not run a complete campaign on Toon Kritic that probably would have done him a lot of damage.
Okay.
All right. And it took me days of like sitting at the computer for like 8 hours straight, like losing sleep, losing time on work that I could have been dedicated to my videos where I make a little bit of money too. And he does it. And
all right, Brony, you know what your problem is? You're my mom. I did something nice and I demand to be fucking recognized for it. Unfortunately, in the real world, in the unfair world, that shit doesn't happen. I'm sorry, Sue, you got fucked.
You want to know how that article actually came into effect? Actually, recently, I heard fucking Chalice was deciding, like, when I was announced as a guest for PonyCon NYC just last week, then I was going to be there as like their MC. Chalice fucking tweeted at them, hey, you might want to look at this Horse News article before, making Toon your guest. And then fucking Twifag or whatever put up like the Minty Root thing, or it was the other way around. But fucking both those things were up. And that still was...
Nothing came of it, but it's still following them.
Look, all right. The thing that happened to you at the con, people from Horse News following you around and shit and trying to cause you trouble. Look, that's not cool, man. They shouldn't have done that. It's kind of a dick move. Taking it that far, I think. But the fact, maybe Brawny did something, maybe he didn't, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's if these people are really causing you that much trouble, man, you should have called security. You should have got that dealt with.
Yeah, we did.
At the end of the day.
You
did. And did security take care of that issue for you?
As far as we knew, we couldn't find them anywhere, so we're just like, you know what? Okay, I guess we did something.
Cool, great.
And what are you
problem solved?
Okay, what I'm complaining about is that the fact that it happened. I'm glad that it's not happening more, but the fact that it still happened, cause and effect.
Okay, stuff like that happens.
You had a bunch of obnoxious 4chan spaghetti niggers come up and walk to you. That's what 4chan motherfuckers do. I don't know what to tell you in that case.
Come and complain to me. Come and complain to me when you get stabbed and or shot at.
Oh, Brawny, you know what? That has nothing to do with what the fuck's going on right now.
Yeah, so I'm trying to put some perspective on this, man.
Well, I think what Brawny's saying is that Toon might be being a little bit hyperbolic.
Okay. I understand that you come from a rough time, and in the bullshit you perceive that Toon Kritic, I'm surprised I called that nicely, even though I'm drinking right now, is that the stakes were not as high as I think that you're perceiving them to be based on your past experiences, and you need to get over your shit.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm even bringing it up, the only reason I'm even bringing that up is because it has to be brought up in context. I am way over that now because that hasn't happened to me in like quite a while, and I'm fine with that.
This isn't the mean streaks in New York. This is the fucking Brony fandom, Brony. You better temper your expectations. If this was something that you did that had involved, I guess, like Toon Kritic's like hometown or Chicago or some shit like that, sure. But this is stupid Brony bullshit.
Well, Brawny, to summarize, I think, Brawny has trust issues, as he's articulated. And, Brawny, honestly, the only way to quell that issue for you, and I don't know if you want to, I don't know how cool you and Toon Kritic are. I don't know really anything about your interpersonal relationship. I don't know if you want to continue a friendship or just an acquaintanceship, or maybe you'll work on stuff in the future. I don't know, right? If you have such trust issues with Toon Kritic, you can either work to fix that, or if you don't even want to deal with that action, then you don't have to, right? You don't have to.
I haven't like tried to reach out and talk to Toon in God like 9 months because I know what he's gonna do.
All right.
I think.
No. What do you think I'm gonna do?
All right, wait. Let me nip that in the ass, Brawny. If it was that important to you, knowing that I talk with everybody that I do, you would have said, "Hey, Anthony, I want you to, arrange a sit down where we talk." At no point in time in the last couple of months, a half year? Can I say half year?
I'd say a year.
Yeah. Okay. Let's say a year. Did that conversation ever come the fuck up at all?
Right. So, but Anthony, as I've said before, that I try not to involve other people if I can.
Well, you can't. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Anthony. The fact that Brawny didn't come to you and arrange a sit down doesn't mean that it's something that he hasn't thought about and is concerned about. I mean, come on.
Okay, I think at the end of the day, it sounds like the core of it is Brawny got his feelings hurt, and he's still angry over that. And you know what? He should be.
Kichi, I think it's closer to this. I think that some social line has been crossed in Brawny's mind, which I can understand, but it is not applicable to this situation in this fandom. And these group of people.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, if it were applicable to these group of people, they wouldn't need Brawny. They would have gone and handled and beat the shit out of Toon themselves, most likely.
I mean, I can understand Brawny's perspective, and I agree to the extent that, if people are being deceitful to me, I tend not to trust them. But I tend not to hold grudges, or at least in this case, as a heart, or I guess as strongly as Brawny is currently, or he's, in this particular situation. So, I don't know. I would just, I tend to get along with people regardless, and I just don't I don't sit on it.
I think you should let it go. Like, you don't have to be friends. You don't have to be acquaintances. You can just be pure business. It can be no business. But I think you need to let it go.
Okay.
It's been long enough. It's just like Minty Root still whining about that plushie.
I don't know. I don't think you have to let anything go. I think it's up to you.
I'm trying to take the weight this year, because it's gonna seem, what I'm about to say is gonna seem oxymoronic. So I'm trying to figure out if there's a way around that, or maybe I'll just have to take another minute or so to explain myself. I'm not like angry about it. I just don't have any trust for him, and when we bring it up, I remember, and I vent.
Okay.
And it bugs you.
No, I get it too. Okay, I could come up with that right now. Does anyone remember when I talked about fucking artistic passion? I was going on about Misanthropony. And as I started to remember why I assumed that she would fucking goddamn try and profit from fucking a family member dying, I remember, I don't fucking like you. But still, I decided to walk it back because it was the right thing to do. And that's the best I could suggest to you.
Or when you did something similar with Caps Lock a couple of weeks ago.
I bit my tongue with that shit, and I never brought it up on How Not to Brony, as I forgot about it. You know what? Call it divine intervention. Jesus came down and stopped me from remembering. Thank you for that. That was a tiny thing, though. That was one of those things that just sat in my craw and festered. And then he had the audacity of like, "Hey, Anthony, why don't you buy some artwork off of me? You help out real artists." And I just sat there and stared at him and thought, "I'd like to beat the shit out of you." Now, if Toon comes up to you and asks you for money, then yes, you have the full right to be that pissed off. But that didn't happen.
But I'm not going to.
Yes, there you go. Jesus, you know what, Toon? You want to get money out of me? Be like, I'm about to do something stupid and ask Brony for money. No. Here, take my money. I'm not saying you're going to get a lot, but I'll try and do something to make that not happen.
If I ever catch Toon like in person asking people for money, I'm gonna kick his butt until he finds his wallet.
All right. I wish you.
Holy shit! Okay, so to quote somebody who's a complete fucking moron, I don't believe in social justice warriors. I just believe in assholes. And if you're sitting there running around policing other people's morality like that, Brony, you're a giant fucking asshole.
Yep.
Well, Brony can feel free to kick his ass, but there'll be some repercussions, I'm sure, legally speaking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to him.
I won't be giving you bail money. I'm just putting it that way.
Yeah, no.
Here's what's up. Though that is the state, Toon, that you have, that your actions and your dishonesty has left you in my eyes. If you want these things to stop happening to you, you need to stop making these decisions.
He hasn't had anything happen like that in months. Kichi, hasn't it?
Yet he was all worried about that, being a guest at PonyCon because of that article.
Well, that's the thing that happened.
Do I not have the right to?
Yeah,
right.
that's still like repercussions from what happened back then. But as far as recent stuff, nothing of that level's happened.
Right now, Toon, if you want that to go away, then
it's not going to.
All right.
I can't make that article go away. I can't make that.
Yeah, I can attest from the perspective of Horse News that they think Toon Kritic's an absolute fucking meme and will not. They're going to constantly keep making fun of him.
I don't give a fuck. They can do.
Hey, Toon. I'm just saying. I'm defending your point here. Is what I'm doing. I'm saying that regardless of what he's done in the past and regardless of what he does now, Horse News will continue the behavior. So really, it's kind of out of his control.
Okay.
In a sense,
and it is out of his control. But here's what I was trying to say before I was interrupted by 6 people.
Sure.
When things like that come up, Toon, you gotta publicly address it and make a sincere apology and a sincere attempt to have people understand exactly.
I would beg to differ. That's what Saint KP.
Because KP is dishonest about it. I'm not telling you to be KP. I'm telling you.
I think she went in the toilet after she fucking addressed that shit. Because
here's the thing.
Anthony, everybody knew she was full of it, and she gave this PR.
But no, you missed the whole point, though. The people who had her back were her fans, which was the bulk of the people involved. And all of a sudden, she said, "I fucked up," and they're like, "Wait, what?"
Here's the thing. I have taken care of the whole Fallen Wish thing. I paid her back. We talked things out, and everything is cool between us. That's one thing taken care of. Number 2, I've talked to Minty Root. I've tried to apologize. I've even put my hand forward and said, you know what? I did some stupid stuff. I agree. The whole red and black and wrong all over thing. I was just having some fun. I'm sorry that you don't have a sense of humor. Let's just at least put all this behind us. I won't talk shit about you. You don't talk shit about me. Well, no, you need to do this, this, and that for me. Like, okay, fine. If you're going to be an asshole about it, forget it.
Yeah, like Brony,
I've made steps to apologize and make up for my mistakes. I've owned up to what I've done. There's not a day that goes by that I wish that I didn't do that, or that if the stuff that happened before with all the bullshit, I wish I could have done something better. But you know what? I have to move on from that. And if they don't move on from that, then that's their damn problem and not mine. Mm-hmm. People talked about me getting a tougher skin. Well, here I fucking am. I've got a hell of a lot tougher skin than I was a year ago.
Hold it! No, I'm definitely going to take the floor on this one, which he actually managed to sit there and portray in his recent thing, in the cartoons thing, where he was trying to be more upfront about shit. Now, granted, it's a little tongue-in-cheek and it's a little hidden underneath the surface, but the people who were dialed in and watching and understanding and were Toon's friend figured that out, which is shit that we were trying to explain the other fucking day. Bam!
Right.
Well, here's you know what? I mean, Toon, that's great, man, that you're recognizing your mistakes and, you've apologized to some people, and perhaps those people have apologized to you for equally doing ridiculous things back to you. But, the way I see this conversation right now is that I don't think Brawny is simply willing to accept any of this by anecdotal word. And you know what? Honestly, the only thing that will convince him, I think, is just time and seeing where it goes. And I think if we can all agree that, that's pretty reasonable and a step to take, then, we can go from there.
Well, that's what I've been doing for like the past few months.
Yeah, that's great. That's good.
Well, I've seen very little of it, so other people are going to have...
Well, I'm sorry that I can't measure up to you.
Well, all right.
Hold on.
Hold it, Brony. Let's put it to you like this. This is an M. Bison moment. To you, that day was the greatest day in your life. Today, that day to Toon was Tuesday. He doesn't care. He's moved on, and bravo. I don't think anybody else gives a shit.
Sure.
Yeah, to be fair, Brawny, you haven't been looking, and that's fine. But we don't need to hear about it.
Yeah.
When it was more relevant, I reached out to him several times, and he blew me off. And it wasn't worth the effort anymore.
The reason I did that was because I was sick of all this drama, and I just wanted to put it past me so that I could focus on my own stuff. That's all that I wanted to do. I was sick and tired of people bringing it up all the time. I was tired of being harassed about it. I was tired of just like people dumping it on me. So I decided, you know what, fuck this. I'm just going to go away, do my own thing, do some self-reflection, come back to this when I can later, and I'll deal with it. Because I was not in the right mental state with my depression and all the other bullshit that was going on in my life to deal with that. That was another thing that was going to just pile up along with a bunch of other things. So I dealt with it finally when I could, and it's taken care of. And I'm sorry that I wasn't able to do it like snap of a finger. I know that's what you expect some people to do, just like snap of a finger, bam, there it is. But these sort of things take time, and I was not in the right mental state to deal with it. I am now. I've dealt with it now, so it's over. And if you want to like have some grudge against me, or if you want to trust me, or you think I'm like this piece of shit person, go ahead. I don't care. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not intimidated by you. I don't need someone like you to basically treat me like that. If that's how you want to treat me, if that's how you view me, fine. No, nothing off my back. I totally understand. You are not the first person to think of me like this. I've had that happen my whole fucking life. And like I said, if that's how it is, then cool. You do me, I do you. Or other way around. Fucking whatever. Sorry.
Outside of that,
sorry.
Outside of the inverse, that was a really well delivered freaking. Brawny, this is as good as the words are going to get.
All right.
I was just going to say that, this isn't going anywhere.
No, that's fine. And Toon, what we were talking about last night is I popped off. I popped off when we were talking about yourself. I'm like, no, because I don't like your videos. I don't think they're any good. They associated my dislike of your character with my dislike for your videos for you, and thought they were intermixed. I was fighting for the fun of fighting with them to try to convince them, no, they're two completely different things.
To win that, Brawny, you'd have to say, despite it being bad, here's a good point. When someone can't bring anything to the table, I'm just going to assume, and you know what, be offended, Sheldon, they're you. It's being some 4chan cunt who's just no-selling everything. And that's when I just stopped listening.
Well, I mean, the argument's just absurd. They're connected in some sense, but also completely disconnected things.
I'd like to have a balanced perspective and say this is why it works. And the quickest way to get me on your side is to say the one good thing about it, no matter how small it is, if you can't come up with that, you didn't look hard enough.
Yeah. Or at all.
Yes.
Well, what I was trying to say that I thought was hilarious was I was bringing up how the evil alter ego thing is never really good, and I was explaining through example how that was, and they were looking for me to come up something good about it, but I have literally never seen anything good about it.
Okay, have you ever seen Darkwing Duck?
The genre,
That's why I just said, did you ever see Darkwing Duck?
No, I have not.
Well, okay, you haven't seen enough. You yourself have admitted to not watching that many cartoons, so I would probably question your expertise on the matter.
I don't like the reverse.
Like asking Redcord's opinion on cartoons that aren't Cartoon Friday bullshit.
I've seen plenty of Dr. Zoom and Reverse Flash. I didn't really like them either. Dr. Zoom and Reverse Flash is a Bizarro. What the heck is that?
Bizarro is a bad.
I think he's an intentionally bad character.
Yes. I don't have the
I think most any concept can work. I think execution's pretty important.
Ironically,
I would say if you're going to criticize something like that, you probably want to get a little bit more fundamental. But I mean, that's just my opinion.
I hate to be a complete dismissive prick here, Brawny, but if Robin came up to me and said I've never seen that work based on his experience and know-how with either cartoons or comics, I'd probably take that with a bit more fucking not sincerity, weight. You don't know enough about the genres to make that generalization.
All right, that's fair enough.
I know that. That's the dismissive loony. Oh, I'm dealing with a faggot.
I'm sorry if that's how it comes off. I don't know how to.
I know I'm pretty good at reading these things.
But to be fair, he knows he doesn't like it.
Yeah, no,
so
I get it.
there's that. It's just maybe a misdirection of the exact cause of that.
That was a classic Ben Saint response. No, you're wrong.
I said you're right.
Okay, sorry.
That is a Ben thing. That totally is.
Oh, thank you. At least
it is. It actually is. You're right.
I miss Ben ironically.
Pardon me while I make a grunt of affirmation while I try to process the new information here. At
its core, the anti-archetype is kind of schlocky, and you got to take it with a grain of salt. It's got to be a little, what's the term I'm thinking of here?
Even when I don't talk about this that much, but I used to write books too. Because I studied literature along with Bible and photography.
I remember Nick Z used to tear that apart constantly. He's like, "Oh, Nick Brawny's freaking writing. Oh God, if I have to hear about that shit one more time."
Okay, we'll figure that out later. But yeah, I even tried myself to do the anti-archetype one time. That was while I was running a series, and one of my characters inadvertently created an evil thought form of himself, and usually when I'm writing and I'm trying to break an archetype, I know what I'm looking for, and I have a general idea of how to get there. It might take me a couple of tries, but I usually get there. I couldn't do it. The thing came out, and it was, and I'm reviewing the first few drafts of the part of that series that had that character, and I'm like, this is Broly.
Okay, wait, Brawny. The best I could come up with. You probably have, obviously, I don't know why I'm even bothering to waste my breath, not as an insult to you, but because you don't know media. Face Off is kind of like that archetype. Toon, you've seen it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Nicolas Cage, John Travolta, where they basically become like inverses of themselves. That works! And I'd say fuck you to anyone who's never seen that. I mean,
it's a weird-ass movie, but it does raise up good points.
Yeah.
I've seen Face Off, and I couldn't really get into it.
But could you at least say that it set out to do what it was supposed to do, where they're trying to play the inverse of themselves, where freaking the evil bastard is, well, I guess it's hard to explain because I'm intoxicated. Well, is everybody semi-cool?
I would just like to offer my piece on the whole why you don't understand or like the whole cartoon thing. The reason that I even created that in the first place is that I was in a period in my life where my depression was basically eating me alive, and I had to have some way to deal with it. So what I did is that I used my depression and created a character through it. And the struggle that Toon went through to fight cartoons and fight back is a struggle that was reflected through me. When Toon eventually won and the whole arc was over, that's how I was able to overcome it. I was able to use what I knew to overcome my depression.
Wait,
through that...
I got another one, Brawny. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Yeah?
All right. I completely forgot about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
It's a great example, actually.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Now, if you knew Cloud Cuckoo Country's channel, you'd be able to shoot me down immediately, but since you don't... I knew you wouldn't.
He reviews books. I've never been much of a reader.
Yeah, but that's the classic. That's as classic as off the top of my head as I can get.
Yeah.
Night is day, black.
Yeah.
Inverse, and I was like, it worked there.
I think the reason why most of those alternative personas in MLPOCs don't work is because they make it just to make it. They don't really put feelings behind them and emotions and struggle.
Yeah, and I commented on when I did How Not to Brony that Toon committed to the role. He put himself out there, kind of laid it on the line, whereas E&Y kind of felt like a guy.
I did it at BronyCon.
Yeah, and
it worked at BronyCon.
Vito wanted to not be there until we got going 5 minutes in. I was like, give it a minute, and he's like, I'm enjoying myself, and I feel bad that I'm enjoying myself.
He's like, something is wrong here. And he was completely sober because we got tired of waiting for the beers or whatever the hell was at the concession stand.
Now, where they got me the other night, Toon, was in the examples of it regarding you. That there was more to it than typically what goes into that. And where I had to concede was, okay, yeah, I had not seen these things because the little bit that I had seen, I really didn't like. And from the time you confessed that you were lying to me on, I stopped watching your content entirely because I don't support people that rip people off like that. So they got me on the fact that I had to concede when they had told me that, okay, yeah, I haven't seen it and things are in fact different that don't usually go into that genre.
All right.
Guten Tag, Kamen. We've brought the sides together. For how long, I don't care.
Well, again, Brony, I'm not the type to hold grudges. I'm not the type to, take this and just grumble on it forever. I have no beef with you. I have no problems with you. I'm willing to just extend a truce, at least, if not from a personal perspective, then at least from what we do in terms of our content from a professional standpoint. I have no problem.
Let me sell you on this, Brony. Great men have had to compromise on things that they don't necessarily agree with from a virtuous perspective because they see that the benefits of going along with peace far outweigh the gains of their own personal pride.
Aren't you all about peace?
Yes. You are suffering from a lot of hubris right now. Tuck it in a little bit.
This is peace. If I wasn't being peaceful with him, I would have done some stuff already. But it's pretty much the same here. All bets are off as soon as I catch people lying to me. All
right. Well, you know what, Brony, I guarantee you before BronyCon, then in that case, you'll probably be pissed at me more than Toon.
So it's like me whenever I catch Map Hat lying. Okay, got it.
Okay, cool.
And this year it's like I'm all about just like ironing out all the grudges, or if there's any issues with anything, I'm all about that. Call it gay or homo or whatever the fuck ever, but I just like having less people to worry about.
Let me give you a new target here, Brony. I'm going to promise you that I will never use Eric to make fun of Kichi ever again, and when I break that promise, Brony, you can be mad at me instead of Toon.
And he will break that promise.
I know he will at some point.
He's breaking that promise right now, probably.
Oh, probably.
Check Twitter.
But you see, you're trying to get in my head, and that's not going to work because I know you're screwing with me right now.
So basically, you're like Warner Brothers, where the giant walks away from Bugs Bunny and says, "He can't outsmart me. I'm a moron."
Except I can see that you're trying the frickin' Agincourt gambit on me, and I know how to counter that.
Yeah. Well, look, enough people from a different. When I, Kichi, Toon Kritic, and Sheldon are telling you to take it.
Hell, I don't have any issues with Sheldon anymore. Like I realized we were cool at some point, so
yeah. I've never had any issues with you personally anyways. I mean, we're cool. You know? Okay. It's like whatever. I don't like I don't know you, right? I'm sure if we sat down for coffee or a drink, everything would be fine, you know? I mean, like, we're all people, you know? Say some dumb things in videos and, you know, criticizing somebody's content isn't the same thing as criticizing their character, and I think anybody who's aware of that can make that distinction and move past it.
I understand that Toon committed a bit more of himself than just the casual to this. That's why it worked, and that's why I think he might have taken offense. It's the same reason why well, okay, Sheldon.
Know that my intentions aren't any kind of character assassination or anything. I don't know you, right? Like, I can't even make those claims.
Sheldon, so you could understand that if I levied the kind of criticism that Brawny did in a way that I wanted to at, say, Jesse Wood, he'd want to fight me.
I mean, perhaps.
Not perhaps, because I have done that to him, remember?
And did he want to fight you? Is that what happened?
Well, no. Remember when I was sitting there explaining about when he did his piece on Roger Ebert, and he left those 2 paragraphs, and he's like, "Wow, you really got under his skin." There's ways that you can poke people. That's why I was getting annoyed when people are like, "Oh, offense is never given; it's taken," or some shit. No, you can give it. If you know how to, you can totally fucking get someone.
Oh, sure. I mean, you know, and that's another thing, you know, getting offended by, you know, I get offended all the fucking time, right? I think we all get offended quite often, and that's fine. Like, that's normal. That's supposed to happen. You're supposed to get it. If you're not getting offended at anything, there's something fucking wrong with you.
I think it's just how you react to that offense, right?
Well, that's certainly part of it too.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to pull a manga comment on you, would you?
Yeah.
I remember when you went off on Ryan.
It's the same with Is this manga comment, dude?
No, you have no idea. I was manga comment, and Ryan and Call. I got so uncomfortable in the call with manga comment sitting there trying to bully Ryan down. I'm like, I want to leave my own room. Holy shit.
When Manga Comment did that video on Faith, and then we did that video on Manga Comment's video, and I hate doing that, by the way. That's so dumb, but
that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Faith was so offended. But, after that, it was like, whatever. And we were talking, and it's like, oh, look, Manga Comment did this video. And Faith's like, oh, that's cool. Hey, I kind of like, it's like, whatever, right? It's not a big deal. You shouldn't take it too seriously. You shouldn't let it affect you too emotionally.
I wouldn't lie that I wasn't annoyed by that, but I still didn't make it.
Sure. That's fine.
Right? Yeah.
I'd like to think about half the time at least half the time someone insults me in here, I roll with it all right. I can't always tell the difference of when I'm being jabbed at playfully, which I normally roll with, or when I'm being challenged, like someone actually wants to know something and wants to talk to me about something, and that's where I get screwed up in here a lot. It's like, okay,
Brony, that would be your raging autism at work.
Whatever.
Kelly, would you say he has a touch of the tism?
I think we all have a touch of the tisms, Kichi.
He's in a tism.
I think we're all a little bit special.
Yeah. Look what band we're in.
This is going to be a bitch to edit.
I forgot that it was even.
I forgot we were recording too. Shit.
Are you kidding me? I would call this peace between factions or some grandioso bullshit.
Oh, so like
the secret war that you all never knew about, and how we brought things together. This is how not to Brony, how it mended the great divide.
There was a great divide.
Well, Toon and Brawny were huffy against each other.
Well, I guess those two, yeah.
You know what? I care.
You guys are so ridiculous. Holy shit.
Shelly, I have beef with you.
You know what, Sheldon? If I could have done this between Josh Scorcher and Tommy Oliver, that would have been badass. Unfortunately, Toon and Brawny are more mature than Oh god. There you go, Brawny. You could say that you're more mature than Tommy Oliver or Josh Scorcher. More Josh Scorcher.
Okay, now I wouldn't say that. I want to say that Josh is very mature. There's a lot of stuff that
I think.
No, okay, look, he has his moments, but I'll stick up for the dude. Like,
no, I understand why you have to.
No, it's not that I have to. It's that I want to. I do consider him a friend.
I'd like to say in a different reality I would have got along with him, but I don't think so.
And you know what? If people don't get along, you know what? That's fine. Like, it's not that bad. Water under the bridge and shit.
Toon, I appreciate that you actually getting along with Sappy now.
Yeah, like I said, I realize that I've been an asshole to some people, so I just want to try to make amends best I can. Amending fences and shit.
Well, Finn solved up when I originally had a problem with Sappy and bent over backwards. He was a real bro and a real peacekeeper. So
you trying to say something about me, FNGR?
No. What fuck are you guilty about?
This isn't about you.
Jesus Christ! I was just putting over freaking Finn. All right, I could go back to saying his analysis sucks if it makes you feel better. Jesus, Common.
Well, with that said, I'm gonna get back to work, so I will see you all later. Glad that we ironed all this shit out.
I'm gonna stop on this bitch.